Hey guys, I wanted to give you a quick update on some new feature releases to help you guys out, those of you that are using my systems. So, I've just released these templates that will help you when you're either setting up a brand new sub account for your clients or if you need to set up the module one on my profit roadmap, which is the essential business system. So what I'm talking about here are these ClickUp templates, these lists of tasks, and I have four different task lists. So let me just go through each quickly. So the first one is the high-level account setup, so required resources pre-setup. So these are basically activities or pieces of information that I recommend that you do before you. So these are like things that you need to basically get from your clients before you can then go ahead and set up their account for them. Because there's no point going back and forth for stuff for the client. It's not efficient, right? You really want to get everything and then you do the setup in one go, which is more time efficient. So these are the individual pieces that you want to gather. And what I've done is, so each one is a task. And what I've done is each one, if you click on it, I have included an instruction in a way of referencing a link back to the documentation. I didn't want to add the actual information in here because it might change in the future on how things are done. It wouldn't work. As long as you have access to that documentation. So this is the account, the high level sub account setup guide that I have, that I've given you guys access. If you don't have access, just let me know and we'll look after you, because this is a view only document for you guys, but everything is in here in this documentation. So what I've done is, let's say if you're doing this particular thing called the business information, this task, you can click on it and it takes you directly into that section of the documentation and kind of explains more detail, like the instructions, like what you need to do basically. So that's how these each one of these tasks work. Each one of them has a different link to a different section of the documentation. And the idea is that you now have a standardized process with list of tasks. So if you are the one that's doing it, now you've got a really checklist so you can go through each one of these things so you can't miss anything. Or if you have a VA or somebody working in your agency that is assigned to set up these accounts for your clients, then you can just assign them to these, right? So what is best thing to do is you want to have in your ClickUp, you want to have a folder called clients, and then for each client you create a separate list, and then in that list you load these templates. So each time a client, you sign them up, you want to start with the high level account required resources pre-setup template and the setup template. And then the next thing you'd want to do is, if you're following the order of the profit roadmap modules, would be the essential system. And that one is the same. So you have both. That's the logic: required resources pre-setup and then the setup. Right? It's both kind of same. It's just different things, and everything again reference. So with the essential one, that's going to take you to the essential documentation, the documentation for the essential system. Right? I hope that all makes sense. There is for each one of these. So if I take you back to the documentation, let's say for the high level account setup, here's where you find the template for this, so you can use those. So you go into, so with the high level account setup, there is the thing called tools and resources. Let me just move it up a bit actually in here. All right, so you click on tools and resources and you're going to find two things. You're going to find the ClickUp task list templates, which are the ones that I've just showed you. So there's two, this one here and this one here, with their own nested subtasks, like I showed you. And then you just need to click on this access link, which is going to take you to like an ability to copy that template into your own ClickUp workspace. All right, so make sure you do that. Make sure you click it, add it into your own ClickUp workspace, so then you can reuse it for each client. So that's why you find it in here. And then for the essential one, you need to go to the separate for the documentation for the essential system. It is split up because I'm trying to keep everything in its own kind of folder. So this one, again, you'll find it here, tools, resources, clip task list, templates. Actually, this is a duplicate. Let me delete this. All right, so you'll find it in here. So click up task list templates, and again, you're going to find the pre-setup tasks and the setup tasks. And again, link here, and then again, just highlighting my pro tip, which is to create a folder in your ClickUp, and then for each client, you create a separate folder that you load this in. Now, you will find another thing in here in these tools and resources. And by the way, these tools and resources all about tools to help you with the setup faster. So that's what this whole idea is. You've got the ClickUp template thing, so you don't have to manually create tasks. You just load it up and then follow through. And then there's this really cool tool that I started to use that actually helps you set up custom values for sub accounts a lot faster. So make sure you check that out as well. There's a little video and explains it as well. All right, I should probably show you one more thing, and this is if you're new to ClickUp, is how you load the templates up once you have it in your workspace. So you want to create a list for a client, title it with the name of the client or maybe the client's business, and then you click on these three dots and you click on templates, click on browse templates, and as long as you've saved my templates into your own ClickUp workspace, then they will show up in your templates library. And then you just need to select tasks. And let's say you're just setting up the accounts. You go with the high level required pre-setup. So this one here, click on that, click on use template and import everything pretty much and use template. So that's going to load up and it creates that task or list of tasks for you. And then there you go. It takes a minute. And then as you can see, if I do the drop down, I'm just going to wait a second. So sometimes it takes a little longer for all the subtasks to show. Here you go. Now they're there, right? So now all the subtasks are there. If we click on it, we can see the instructions there. So that's perfect. And then you just follow that same process for all the other ones. So you click on browse templates, task, and then load up all the other templates. So for the high level account setup or the sub account setup, it's those two: required resources pre-setup and the setup. All right, so you load those two. And then you'd also load, if you're doing the essential system, you load those as well. So it'd be the essential required resources pre-setup and the other one, which is the, let's go back in here. When it loads, we go, essential. So we got the pre-setup and then we got essential business system setup. Boom, use template. And so this is how you load those templates into that client's list so that you can manage that project, fulfill, do everything you need. I don't recommend always like giving access to your clients. This is more for you and your team to make sure that you're on track with everything that needs to be done across all of your clients. Especially once you start to have a lot of clients, you really want to have some sort of a project management tool where you keep track of all the things that are overdue that needs to be done. But one of the really cool thing here is that if you do want to add a client to have visibility into how you're tracking, is that if you get stuck, you can mark it as stuck, or you can ping your client in these tasks directly. So you can say, hey, let's say you're waiting for proof of business address for your client. You can quite literally add a comment and tag your client and say, hey, Mr. Client, I need this thing so I can follow through and do the next thing. So they can maybe upload it in here for you. That's just an option how you can run things rather than going everything through an email. Just keeps things organized. But yeah, that's the end of the video. A bit longer than I wanted. The main thing is that these templates are live. They're available to you. So make sure you utilize them and please give me feedback. I do like to continue to improve these templates, these resources for you guys. And obviously for my own agencies, more feedback, more we can all benefit. And as always, if you have anything else that you need from me or a suggestion or anything, make sure that you reach out to me, contact me. You can now contact me on my website directly. I've added a cool little thing. Let me just show you this. So if you go on vitmuller.com, there is now a smart widget or chat HQ widget, which has these options. So you can email me or you can message me on Facebook, schedule a call. There's a bunch of other things in there. And one more thing I'll show you is this new tools page. So I've just updated significantly where if you're looking for more third-party solutions to add more value to your GHL agency, then this page kind of covers all of the different options that are there on the market, from Apex, white label, Challenge things like third-party plugins that I use as well. And there's some comments from me on these things and what I like about them, from white label support options, some really cool AI tools that I'm using, and things like that. So this page is probably useful to look at as well. You just find it on the menu bar up the top, click on tools, it'll take you here, and you can learn more.